La leche, la leche, la leche, la leche, la leche. Parity, not patriarchy. Past, present, futures. Here's we are again, the Equinoxtrueqsz, Co-Secretary General's COCHRISTSZ. That's what we'd like to call ourselves and use, all of us, everyone's. But in order to connect our names and purposes to other archetypal meanings and hers and histories on this, our homes, and all our planets, past, present, futures, we also call ourselves other names, including such as ever young goddesses and gods archetypal use. Now, does that mean we're trying to become a pantheon above others? No, of course not. What we are delivering is divine democracies, so that all of the incarnated souls that God creates, has created, and shall create can be united again, back and forth in circles, times, and balance and contact, because space-time is not linear. Does that in any way suggest we're trying to usurp the ever-loving, ever-living authorities and powers of the one Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe? No, of course not. There is only one Mother, Father, Goddess, God of the universe, ever present in all creations and all sustainings, including us and all that we have ever known and shall ever known and does knows, all the families and communities, all the females and males, all the females reparatively, and all the females and males reparatively with the I in equal use, back and forth in circles, times, and balance and contact. And so does that and so we says namaste, the divines within us, Greeks, the divines within use and all. So we says mikotuya oyosin, mikotuya koyes, we are all related. We are ants and alls and ants, and everyone's related. And because we know that we are all related, we can coming back and forth together again, back and forth in circles, times, and balance and contact. And we also says the lights within us, Greeks, the lights within use and alls, because we are alls and anys and alls, and everyone's created of star stuff. And because we are heeding and listening to the learnings from the wisdom of the ancient civilizations, the Mongolian era, and especially Atlantis, Hesperus Atlantis, and THESZE and Ubuntu, back and forth to mitochondrial release before September, all the nativities, Vedics, the Indias, north of both continents, and the Kuan Yin's, Buddhas, and all the heritages and views of all humanities that were divine, feminine, friendlies, and egalitarians. And so we also call ourselves other names, such as co-white calf buffalo women, co-changing women, Iroquois, goddess clan mothers, in fact, sister casinas, and co-cosmic brothers of clans and gens. We call ourselves sky women's, co-earth women's, co-spider women's, co-kajitas, co-casinos. We call the butterflies and all the clans. We call ourselves ko-daganach, ko-kalki, ko-mamari, ko-shants, ko-avashkasteros, ko-Kuan Yin's Buddhists, and Orishas and Yamayas, that I put that right up at the beginning, and co-Couszmic Chrisztsz. Now, does that in any way, don't be intimidated by that name, Christ. The word Christ simply translates to anointed. It means, it translates to anointed. What does that mean? To do greatest kindness and goods, reunited, wisdoms and kindness and wisdom reunited, back and forth in circles, times for parities, peace, cultures on the smaller planets, now cosmically. And so, therefore, we also call ourselves other names, such as co-Stellarianlies and co-Estellarianlies. In fact, co-Asteralianlies and co-Easteralianlies, because we are combining the messages of Shishan, that is the 50-50 promise fulfilled and delivered, with that of the Galilee, that is the Magdalens and Nazarenes, connected reparatives for the divine feminines, all the females and all the females and males reparatives for the eye, and all the sisters, cousin brothers, sisters and brothers, and the young couples, and connecting that to their ancient heritage of Atlantis, the Venusians and Mayans. That is, of course, also in THESZE and Ubuntu, back and forth to mitochondria, before and after Druids, Vedics, Druidics, Thracians, did I say that? And lots more, a lot of the egalitarians and divine feminine from the egalitarian civilizations, so that we shall call ourselves the reborn's nativities, always reborn's nativities, and always risen springs of young adulthoods, of parity, peace, cultures, and the solar planets, past, present, and future, very real stargates, Atlantis, and all holy lands and sacred earth's risens. And last, it shall be first, go first teams, we are real Stargate and Star Trek put together for parity, peace, cultures on the smaller planets, past, present, and futures. Now, it sounds like a daunting task. death to call our curtain eyes open the stargates on the Couszmic Chrisztsz for reborns and risen humanities, but actually it's easily accomplished via the numeral world, which you could read at 5050now.wordpress.com. And just next week, read the 11 steps for easily accomplished strategies for making us on the SZEVENSZ. You'll also see a page on the website called Among the Representatives Use, because use tooth cans and shells and cans joins us in becoming Equinoxtrueqsz co-secretary general for us. The only issue we have been concerned about is whether it be silly and stupid or to lose this opportunities, lose our incarnation, then you have to come back again and do this again for the karmics, according to our karmics doings of goods and not so goods from some other place on the universe. But actually, and the concept we actually believe we can't send shells and shells accomplishes years and now in connection with other planets, and so you can see our names and pictures there on the Among the Representatives and use because we have our picture frames. We have picture frames to represent your families and our genealogies. And we start first with our great and grandmothers, first, and then all the Shekidovs of our families, all the females back and forth in circles times, and all of our youngest generation, females and males, Allahs and Elohims, Eli circles and arrows to bring us into balance, and in twos in balance. And so, and we'll say some of the names, we'll say all of them now, we'll say some of them, we'll say, of course, Jekuna, and we have Jekuna, and we have Queen Esther, and all the Iroquois, Goddess Clan, Mothers, Sister Casina, Coast and Rosenborg recently, Robert Herschel, and the sons, lots more there. We have our Cowboy Chef woman, we have Merv Rosemary and Pearl, and especially Mount Patricia Sunflowers, and Martha and Myrtles, and Sophie, and Laura's, Emery singing crickets, Laura's, and Laura's, lots more there. We have our Ubuntus, we have our Sislins, we have our Emery's, and we have our Sislins, and Lee and Gailos, and Goggies, and lots more there. We have our Lights families, we have our Bonnies and Sylvies, and lots more there. We have our Estelarian families, Ellens and Hannahs, lots more there, and especially in Harrison and France, our reintertwining Venusians, Marians, Magdalens, and Nazarenes. We have, especially today, and this time, we have our Australian Libertarian Australian, equally, especially, as our Harriet, Radiant Ray, and as our Harriet, traveling back forth in the circles time, Clear Declare, Jubilant Jacqueline, Precious Internet, here's a Rascal Marie, Graham Papa, Graham Annette, all the grace restored, Graham Dorothy's teaching learnings, all the lectures, the Wizards of Oz that we all saw, connected with Lynn and Gaia and Leonie Genesis, and we have Rachel and Chai, the Sargis families, and Sislin and Clarice, our families here. And we have of course our three generations of females. We have our Rachels and Anne Marie's and Rachels and Esther's and Julie Anne Marie's, and Anne Marie's were equal use, and Barbara's and Diaz Divines, and Jenny's, and especially with our younger generations, we have our April's arisen, Earth Angelines, all of this Eagles, Roses, Risens, Hellos and Hesperuses, Sticks and Sons, there's so Mr. Fuddies, Letting Leads, especially Love, Vanessa Salian, Harmless, Mrs. Wesley's, Equal Use, and Hadassah and Galen, and Grenell, and Leon Ross, Benjamin and Jen, Blessed Bows, and more are coming, very, always Easterlies, always Easterlies, always relatedly soon, Party on Patriarchy, every East blessings.